So I've made 2 videos about Nokia. The brilliant idea of bringing back old phones, like, old simple phones back to reality. Okay? Now, my life has been changed, and when I see the original of going back to the lifestyle of, whether you're going through, a smartphone to a less smartphone, or from a car back to, doing footsteps, not relying on cars, just relying on public transport. It made me a lot happier person, because when you have a very smartphone and you have a car, you don't have free time. You have time. They're constantly wanting to compete or maintain that lifestyle. By doing that, you essentially work harder and more bigger bills, right? When you have a car, when you drive around, you can get to anywhere, anytime, as long as it suits your time frame, right? Now, obviously, along the journey, you get to experience a lot more stores, a lot more sales, and then, of course, there's a lot more junk food. Like, come on, like, drive-thrus, like, you can't say no to a cheeseburger, right? Right? Yeah, I know that. Essentially, we gone a lot more bigger, as well. We're on the car often. We're not as fit as we used to be when we're kids. I felt like in life, we are holding a lot more responsibility, a lot more unhappiness. I get to see a lot. And when I'm on, like, I'm just saying this because I get to see a lot. When I'm on a public transport, for some reason, I get to see a lot more people crying. I get to see a lot more sad faces, drug addicts. I don't know, I don't know their background or anything, but I get to see a lot more sad people than ever before. And like, technology is great. Cars is getting smarter. You can pretty much there's models that you self-drives, like drives, like you be like this and it drives, and like stuff like that. It drives. It also like reverse parking for you. It has sensors. It has reverse camera. Like all these gadgets. It's great, but I had a life, I had a house, I had a company, I had a car, I had money. But when I was at that time, what I've realized is that happy level comparison today, I'm a lot more happy now, to be honest. I don't have a car, I don't have a house, I live in a very small, simple room. Very, very small. Like, people will say, like, how small it gets, right? I know this camera is wide as lens. Like, you can literally see this. Like, even here, you can see this, alright? I'll show you how small my room is, alright? So, this is my bed, alright? Sorry if it's messy, alright? That's my bed. Single bed is down here and there. Alright? And the width, probably the size of this bed, right? Single bed. So, that's how small my room is, right? Like, I don't mind, I'm paying cheap rent or everything. Like, life is a lot better when it's small and simple. And that's what I learned about my landlord. He said to me, in life, it's better to go small and recognized. Because when you're recognized, when you're famous or popular or mainstream or you're big, people have high expectation. Whether your company, your house, your job, there's high demand of expectation. Oh, I'm starting to realize I look better on this my t-shirt. But you have a high expectation. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a never-ending game, and I feel like we live in the world, like this modern technology world, is that we're not happy. We're not happy with this phone. We're not happy with this phone. And we're not happy with iPhone 7. There's always better and better and better and better and better and better. And nothing just gets worse and worse and worse. Well, my life is that I'm trying to go downhill. I'm trying to go like really simple. Like, I know, going going from a Note 2 or Samsung S3. I know it sounds like a dinosaur to you guys, but you know, it has all these mainstream apps. It has great camera, great features, and I'm going down to BlackBerry. Like, BlackBerry is like, you know, I don't have Facebook, I don't have, you know, Snapchat. If I had to go to Facebook, I have to go through their website and do the manual way how you do it in computer. Like, I like to be really simple and back to basics. And I've realized in life, when you go back to basics, you're a lot more happier. You know, I mentioned before, I gave up a house, I gave up a car, I gave up my business, I gave up, you know, like everything. And I'm the most happiest moment in my life. I'm being brutal honest with you guys. I'm not trying to say, like, you know, having this lavish car. Like, to be honest with you, you know what I really want in life? I really want a Jeep Wrangler. I really want a 2-door, a 3-door Jeep Wrangler or 4-door. I really want that car. But I've realized that, you know, it's great, like, outdoor fun type car, sporty type as well. But I know to have that car is expensive to maintain. And that is the same thing. The bigger the house you have, the bigger maintenance you have. The bigger business you have, the bigger maintenance you have. You spend money to make money. That's essentially the world we're living right now. To spend money to make money. Now, I'm pretty sure to you guys, like, well, Will, what about relationships or this and that? Now, I do it. Now, we live in this modern world. Cost of living is going up, and relationship, each time you go out or pay a meal or you go out to do whatever the things, activities you're going to do, you end up like losing a lot of money, or you have less money. And we're living in a world like there's high spending and less saving. And I do understand a lot of people, a lot of singles, even myself, I realize I need to stop making red pill videos, because I've realized the real life, like, life is not to go big. Like, I used to have a big house, you know. I don't want to brag about this, but, you know, like, the house that I had made 700,000. And that money is not to me, it's to my parents, alright? I got out the name, I got rid of the house, I gave it to my dad. You know, if I was still in that house in Bankstown, right? If you don't believe me, you can always check it up, alright? The housing, you know, is crazy than before. I purchased that house 500,000, alright? Obviously, most of them bank money, alright? People will never tell you about this, right? Bank money, alright? And you borrow 80%, right? So that's debt for life, right? You sign a 25-year contract, right? On a bank loan, right? And you never know how this game is going to go, like this investment game. You don't know how it's going to crash or how it's going to go, how it's going to increase, because it's not up to you, your local council, the government. It matters to anyone, alright? Look, these are the things that you need to worry about, right? If there's an incident, if there's a murder, or if there's a drug raid, or in your suburban or near your street, your suburb house value goes down. If there's a huge event going on, if there's an increase of interest rate, the house value goes down, right? If there's you know, like major events such as like if there's a terror attack, right, in your city. I'm not saying your city, like, because you live local, but let's just say Sydney or Melbourne. If something goes happen, the house market goes down. If there's some big events like happening, if there's a dispute with another country, or, you know, things go down, the house will go down. There's a lot of possibility when a house can go down or go up. It can be temporary, it can be permanent, but nobody can predict this. Nobody can tell you how long is this gonna last. Nobody would tell you when unemployment rate will go down and everything's crashed. Nobody would say this. And even, you know, South China Sea incident, or as well Brexit, or perhaps electing Donald Trump, like, or maybe we elected Pauline Hanson. I don't know. Nobody has this answer. And that's why I said to you guys, like, the same thing go with relationship or buying a house. Nobody can predict it. You know, it's like outside problems, family problems, you know, social, economic status problem as well. That is the biggest thing that modern people follow this whole trend. Borrow their way out to taste of the society, to fit in the social, economic status level. That is, most people will never talk about this. But what I'm trying to tell you is that, look, I'm at the life, you know, I gave up a house, and all this stuff I did not earn. Someone text me. I did not earn all this stuff. My dad gifted for me and made me to keep up with the whole modern society trend and technology and this whole social status, this image, this whole status thing. And I said to myself, like, Jesus, like, yeah, you know, I was young, I was dumb, I didn't know I didn't know any finance or anything, and I was really living unhappy. I always think of my funeral, my deathbed. I always think of that way. You know, I suffer mental health out of the whole purpose. I had to work 6 days or perhaps 7 days. I have to work long hours, and you know, I'm just, no matter how much I work or no matter how much I've done, I'm still not happy, you know, when I was at that stage. And that is something that no good role models out there will ever tell you this, because essentially we don't have good role models in life, you know. We like certain celebrities or what, I don't know who's your role model, alright, let's just say celebrities. I think it's a lot easier, right? You may like this Tiger Woods guy, he's great at golf, blah 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 blah, and out of the sudden he cheat that many girls, right? Or you like Justin Bieber, he's great, you know, he's young, Bieber fever, yay, and out of the sudden he pissed on the bucket or doing some stupid stuff. And I felt like we live in a world, like, technology is so advanced, gossip spread within seconds, negative is going towards us, cost of living is going up, everything is a lot negative. What we turn on in our phone or our internet, everything is so fantasized, it's great, of all these commercials or this ad on the side of your internet, you know, how do you get six-pack shortcuts, how do you get this girl, or how do you know, oh, you've won $1 million, or you know, you can, how do you get a Lamborghini or how do you retire at the age of 30, or it gave us bombarded that sort of images in the advertisement. Deep down we know it's not true, but we still click it. You know, how do you date this girl, or how do you do this, and how do you do that, and you go through that video and after another video and another video, and then we become depressed because we're not one of those and this and that. It feels like a fantasized world, and you saw your friends is doing the same thing. They got a lot more successful, and then the parents will say, look, you know what, my son, and they're trying to, and your parents try to compare their parents because he's up there and you're down here. We live in a world, it's always competing, it's always going crazier and crazier, and none of us is happy. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is that the smaller you go, the unrecognized you are going, you'll be a lot more happier in life. I know you'll be caught a lot of hard stuff, but that's the reality it is, right? I've learned it in the hard way. I'm a lot more happier than when I had my house, I had a business and everything what I had in life, alright? I'm a lot more happier, a lot more mature-minded, a lot more wiser. I see life in a different dimension than I was before, because I see life is just constantly money, 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 mortgage, 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 mortgage. Oh gosh, I'm scared of the banks come and take my house. Oh, banks come, I'm scared of being bankruptcy. I'm scared of being blacklisted. I'm scared. There's so many things that you'd be scared of in life. I'm scared of interest rates going up. I'm thinking of my girl was going to dump me. I'm thinking of my marriage is going to break up. Because it's money, money, money. And everything, it all comes in money. And I think it's a biggest problem right now, because essentially it's not just Australia problem, this is a worldwide problem. You know, you have to be really educated, you have to earn big money to live in this society, and birth rates is going down. The more educated you are, you know, the higher cost of living, the birth rate will go down. Certain countries will pop more babies because they rely on babies to increase their surviving rate. By increasing the surviving rate, they can look after them and pay them money when they get old. But today's world, we don't have to go through that. We have welfare, and as well, you know, we have the most incredible medications that can cure majority of disease, where back in the days we can't. We have to pop more kids to boost our survival rate. If one dies, it's alright, there's 4 more to go. If that dies, it's alright, it's like a third more. It's like playing a turtle game. So if turtle lays 1,000 eggs, they all went to the shore. One gets by a seagull, one gets by the shark, one gets by the fox, and one gets by, I don't know, some other turtles eating it as well. And essentially this one turtle will survive. That one turtle will always go through. And that's why I see life. It's like, you know, it's all about survival. It's all about surviving, just going in, going in. I've been thinking about this for the past 3 weeks, alright? Even though in my birthday, I wasn't really happy on my birthday, but all I've been thinking about is surviving, how I'm going to plan my life to pension. I think I'm at the age of 27 now. I think I just turned 27, so yeah, there's so much thing that nobody taught us that. And I'm talking so fast because there's no notes, no nothing. I can show it to you right now. Nothing is here, right? Nothing is here. Nothing is here. So this is no, I'm not making up. This is pure in my mind right now. There's nothing. I've been thinking about it every single day. I've been thinking about what should I do in my life. I am not going to be like what other people or my parents will go against of my journey, my belief, my issue as well. But I've realized that the most grateful thing in life is just to be happy, because when I had a mortgage and when I had go through all that family drama, I had to go through suicidal, I had to go through mental health, I have to go through all that. Now, people will say, well, people who go through mental health or suicidal will usually be the low socio-economic class. Now, my family wanted to be the middle socio-economic class, so they fight the way, they go competitive way. And I can see today's world, a lot of people will draw and get sucked into this industry, this society of making more money, getting more houses, getting more this, getting more that, getting more kids, blah 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 blah. It's never enough, and one day you blow out because there's more spending, high spending, less saving. And when you play that game, more spending, negative gear saving. So essentially you have to borrow loans, personal loans, a credit card, and therefore a lot of people have to go through investments, to after investments, to play that sort of game, playing the refinancing money game. And I feel like this is the world we're living in right now. Yeah, I'm really happy to see, you know, like after I make that Nokia video, I start to realize the bigger picture of life. You know, a lot of people said to me, well, technology ruins into the modern world. We're not a lot of socialized, we're not happy, this and that. I never understood why until I've realized, you know, all these ads and all these social medias and all these gossip that we have to go through, all these, you know, people, so much successful people just go on the internet and say, look at me, you know, I'm with my crib, blah blah blah, with these cars and flashing money, this and that. But in real life, it doesn't work that way. And I felt like in life, there's no good role models in life. That is the bad, saddest part in this world. There's no good role models. Like each time you turn on the news, some you know, some sportsman that you look up to went through a rape charge or drink driving or something sort of, or you believe in a certain religion, or especially Catholic or Christian, some priest will done something wrong, some bribery or some, you know, some pedophile, or some celebrities that you're like, some will go through this, and your friends will go through, like, you know, friends with his drug addict, you're a drug addict, or this and that, and it's most likely to be like that. If your friends are successful, you become successful, right? This is something that nobody tells you. Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates didn't just, you know, high school dropout and just trying to find a random group and, you know, and then hope for the best and fight for the way up there. Bill Gates, right, he became successful because his mother, right, worked in Microsoft and knows, and you know, she's pretty high ranking, and knows the manager, right? Well, she works alongside the manager. Bill Gates came up with a brilliant idea. Very, very, you know, I don't know what sort of idea, but you know, Microsoft, I don't know, I haven't studied, but he brought up idea, he got his idea, creative idea, and gave it to the manager, the CEO. He wasn't working in the company, hired him and brought his idea, and he becomes successful because he's surrounded by successful people and he becomes successful. But at the same time, I give him good respect. He has the idea, he has the brain, he has the knowledge to make him to be like that. Obviously, if you're surrounded by successful people, that's one part. But also, you have to know, understand the trade where someone can believe in you. It's gonna happen. It's gonna change. It's gonna make big. You want someone to believe in you. Okay. So yeah, I have you know, that is unsecret. I unlocked the secret of happiness of life, and you know what's the most hurtful thing that I saw last night? Now I know all of us have seen homeless people on the street, majority from men, right? The one, and I know it's like a double standard when you see a female that's homeless. I saw something that was a triple standard last night. I dropped my dad. It was his last night. I'm staying in Melbourne, so I have to catch a train back home. It was like 11:30 at night. And when I look at the other side and I saw the ticket machine and I saw a lady, a single lady, and a single child, right? All her stuff was on a trolley and as well a baby pram. Just the baby, I can't say the baby, the child is like 2-3 years old, non-stop crying. The mother didn't have any food and fed that child just baby formula. There was 2 protection services standing right there. Oh, for those who doesn't live in Melbourne, when you catch a public transport, especially trains, there's like a protection service. It's like a security guard, because Melbourne train transportation is not safe. Therefore, they have these protection services, like, you know, just protect each stations, making sure everything high, increases safety levels and everything, monitor the platform. So the Secret Service is there, they're doing their job, they can't do anything, you know, seeing that right in front of their face. I don't know what happened because I was, I was the opposite side of the platform, but seeing that is like, there's a million things that comes in your mind saying that, why she's like that. And I'll guarantee you, it will be something along the line of a cost of living status. It will be something along the line. Maintaining this lifestyle. Or perhaps it was an accidental baby. And you know, unplanned pregnancy, it can be any social factors, alright? I'm just pulling stuff on top of my head, but like, come on, let's be honest here, right? How low can a person get to, especially a woman, a girl on the street, live on the street, with a 3-year-old daughter? Like, this must have been something major happen. Whether she's a drug addict, there's something. If she's a drug addict, and somebody goes, oh, you understand, but what created her to be a drug addict? Or perhaps, I don't know, but what created her to sell herself to feed the child? Why the man wasn't there? Because he didn't earn enough, didn't have enough to put a roof over their head, it's too competitive. You know, it can be anything. We're living in a modern life society that it never happened in history, right? You could take 2000 BC or anything. I think we are living one of the most interesting era. We have technology, we have unlimited food, we have one of the best doctors, medicals and everything. And essentially, we are a lot more competitive. We are driven more of a materialism life. But just to see that woman with a single child just make you realize, gosh, what has this society has gone into? And when I see that, that's reality of life. When I see men who's homeless on the CBD city, that's reality of life. What I see on my phone, what I see, what I've been told, that's fantasy, that's paradise. But all of us can be fantasized or paradise. I promise you, anyone can do that. The problem is, how do you maintain? How long can you keep it? You see, back in the days, everyone say, we want to chase Australia dream, America dream, China dream, Greek dream, or whatever the country it is, right? Greece, sorry, not Greek, Greece, I have to say Greece. Anyone can get up there. Back then, Cost of living was cheaper. Everything was cheap. There's no technology, no nothing. It was a simple life back then. Now is an overcomplicated life. Let me repeat that again. We are living an overcomplicated life, and we want things more and more and better than ever before. Back then it was just a simple life. Back then people would pop many kids because to increase their surviving rate. Just like the turtle analogy that I just gave to you guys. We're living at the stage that we're not happy at all. We're living at the stage that things are living is going really tough. We're living at the stage that social problems are rising a lot higher than ever in human history. Certain countries it varies, but I would say the Western civilization world was a lot more crazier. Back in the days, right, families come from herd of tribes. Back in the days, they come in herd of native, indigenous. And when tribes, native, went to war after war, fighting for land, killing men, killing children, raping women, keeping the woman, and form a bigger tribe. And another tribe, a bigger tribe, go for another tribe, and tribe after another tribe after another tribe. And essentially we have wars after wars after wars. And that country, that land was supposed to be one of the tribe native people. Now it becomes to names, medieval, knights, warriors. They all got eliminated. I'm not focused on indigenous or native like what I just mentioned, like Australia native or Kiwis, the Maoris, or Australian Aboriginal or Canada. I'm not just referring that. I'm referring the whole lot of the world. Essentially, we're fighting. Alright, we are fighting. We're fighting. And somehow we're lost and go for war. And we're becoming Greek. We become China. We become this and this and this. Right? You kind of get the image. We still kept our inherent tribe mentality, indigenous mentality, by having a big family, eat as one, earn money to provide the whole family. Right? You provide the whole family, and after that, you live a lot more happier when you live in a big family. For the last 50, 60, 70 years, things has changed. This is particularly in the first world country, is that they still kept this traditional bigger family, religion, everything. They have a day off on Sunday, they work half day on Saturday, right? Things has changed to the point that we were once tribal, once traditional kinship family. Now it's gone to a society, the cost of living is going up, globalization, driven us human beings separated from big families, follow this individualism society. So we have a freedom, we're going out, and we do things that, like no other history able to achieve. Because when you were a herd of tribe or native or indigenous, right, for you to get out that tribe or native, your surviving rate is really, really low. Alright? And obviously you're on your own. Right? To be kicked out of the tribe or native or the culture or from the social group, you're left by yourself and you're out of this free world. You get to do whatever you need to do to survive. Now, back in the days, there's no medicine, there's no cure. There's not what unlimited food it was today, right? When you get kicked out, you build your own roof over your head, you hunt food. And there's predators everywhere you go, right? You got kicked out of your tribe. Foxes, crocodile, snakes, scorpion, centipede, you name it, right? You're on your own. You may be young, but how long can you keep it going? How long can you hunt that pig down? How long can you hunt that deer down? Because back in the days, back in the tribal days, having a meat is like a delicacy. A herd of tribe, a herd of people, a herd of men who goes out and go for hunting, not always get their meat or a certain animal, right? Because it's difficult, right? So when they bring it back home, it's like a feast, right? But when you're outcast from that group and you're all alone, you become vulnerable because there's just one of you. There's 50 deers. They may be scared, but how about 50 alligators, 50 crocodiles, 50 snakes in front of you? No medicine, unlimited food. There's no much food, and a single outcasted person will die painfully loneliness out at the wild. And I gave you guys the analogy of traditional kinship. Now we have been split up our families into smaller families, and now the cost of living is going up and everything is going up. Now we've cast it to the point that what I mentioned to that woman, character, a single mother, it's gone to stages that it's divorced now. Divorce, breaking up, multiple relationship, casual sex is a lot hard, skyrocket. It's hard to maintain the needs. There's a lot more choice, there's a lot more options, there's a lot materialism to chase. And life gets tougher. Bills, gas, electricity, petrol, food is going up year by year. Wages are decreasing, wages are still remain the same. Rentals is going up, housing is going up. And it's driving all these people out. Essentially, big families has gone through no family. Your grandma used to have 8 kids, now your parents have 3 kids, and now when it comes to you, you struggle to have 1 kid. Or even to find a potential partner, because a potential partner wants to find a potential partner who can maintain the money to secure that roof and that food. And what I said to you, we live in a very interesting world today. The individualism, you've been outcast from the group, but you can survive. We have all these great unlimited food resources. We can go downstairs and open that tap of water. We can drive to the supermarket and get that meat. We no longer need to hunt or anything. But the cost of living is going up, and we're becoming more unhappy because we have to make bigger money. The bigger money, the higher stress, risk the job that we're going to take. Families are collapsing as well. So the outcast group, which is, we call it the individualism, or perhaps a smaller family. We live in a very individualism world. Choice, we can make, surviving rate we're a lot higher. We live longer ever before, thanks to medicals. Food as well. It's a very scary moment. And when I see that single mother, I could see many multiple reasons that made it that way. Now, I've been thinking about it for the last couple of weeks about it. I wasn't even planning to make this sort of topic on this video, to be honest. Nothing of, you know, simple life on the phone, you know, go great. And I have no idea how long this video is. Jesus, 34 minutes and I already smash it through. So yes, we're living at a very different era, because essentially if you're being a single person, you actually